Doak Campbell Stadium.
Doak Campbell Stadium.
Doak Campbell Stadium.
FSU's Doak Campbell Stadium could be getting a facelift, and it could be coming within the next 3 seasons.
Just recently, on the humid ground of North Florida, an old giant went through a true transformation. A change so radical that the words old and giant no longer describe it. With floating premium decks offering breathtaking views of the action, a massive screen rising as high as a 6-story building, and operable glass walls along the 50-yard line, allowing fans to move seamlessly between climate-controlled luxury and the full intensity of the game, Doak Campbell Stadium is setting a new standard in college football, perhaps even beyond it. But once the gates finally opened and fans began experiencing what had been promised, questions started to surface. Did the final result truly live up to the expectations? And how is it that after such a massive investment, the stadium actually became smaller? The time has come to dive into Florida State's new jewel, which, after years of waiting, has finally entered the modern era. Long before the modern renovation took shape, Doak Campbell Stadium stood as a defining symbol of Florida State University, a place where generations of students, alumni, and fans forged their identity on fall Saturdays. When it first opened in 1950, it seated only 15,000 spectators, a modest concrete bowl built for a young university still carving out its athletic future. Over the decades, it expanded again and again, each project reflecting FSU's rapid rise into a national football powerhouse. By the early 2000s, Doak was one of the largest venues in college football, capable of hosting more than 80,000 fans. But time reshapes even the most beloved landmarks. While the stadium carried unmatched tradition, its mid-century bones struggled to keep pace with modern expectations. Concourses, restrooms, and concessions lagged behind the standards of newer NCAA and NFL venues, and as college sports evolved toward enhanced amenities, digital immersion, and premium hospitality, the stadium's aging layout made it increasingly difficult to offer the level of comfort fans now demanded. Another reality pushed the conversation forward: a national shift toward experience-first stadium design. Across the country, universities were moving away from sheer capacity and embracing more intimate, fan-focused environments. FSU recognized that to remain competitive, not only in recruiting but also in national perception, it needed a stadium that reflected the program's stature. Doak Campbell had history, but it lacked the architectural and experiential sophistication of emerging venues. In response, the university began a comprehensive evaluation of its long-term vision for the stadium. It was about redefining what Doak could be in the coming decades. The school sought designers capable of balancing modern engineering with a deep respect for tradition, ultimately selecting Populous, one of the world's leading sports architecture firms. Known for venues like Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and T-Mobile Arena, Populous brought a design philosophy centered on fan immersion, optimized sightlines, and community identity. The main construction was carried out by a joint venture between Manhattan Construction Company and Culpeper Construction Company. Working alongside engineering and analysis teams who surveyed every structural element of the stadium, FSU's leadership crafted a vision that honored Doak's legacy while preparing it for future generations. The plan emphasized comfort, accessibility, expanded concourse circulation, and premium viewing options, all without compromising the stadium's iconic character. But envisioning a reimagined Doak Campbell was only the beginning. Turning that vision into reality, within a tight timeline, during shifting attendance trends, and while preserving the emotional weight of a historic venue, would prove to be a far greater challenge. And that challenge would become the defining story of the stadium's reconstruction, one that unfolds in the next stage. Major construction on the Doak Campbell Stadium renovation officially began in September 2023, with early work focused on site preparation and foundational upgrades. Doak Campbell Stadium wasn't just old, it was a mix of materials and systems from the 1950s all the way to the early 2000s. Every layer came with its own limitations, and each had to be handled carefully to keep the structure safe and sound. The first major step was reworking the seating bowl. Using advanced 3D building information modeling, engineers created a detailed digital map of the stadium structure. It revealed old utilities hidden inside the concrete and outdated steel supports. With that information, construction crews removed entire sections of aging seating and replaced them with a modern steel framework built to support new hospitality areas, better circulation, and much clearer sightlines for fans. With the stadium's upper levels beginning to take shape, this new structural framework made it possible to add the project's most notable features: the floating premium decks and elevated terraces. These cantilevered platforms needed careful engineering so they could anchor securely into reinforced parts of the stadium while extending out over the existing seating. They weren't just structural additions. They were designed to improve the fan experience, offering lounge-style areas, shaded spots to gather, open-air viewing spaces, and clean sightlines similar to those found in top professional venues. As these elements progressed, crews shifted their focus to the concourses, which had long been one of the stadium's weak points. Sections of the original concrete were removed to widen major walkways, improve crowd movement, and open up sightlines. New ramps and stairs improved accessibility across all levels, and added entry points made it easier for fans to move through the stadium during busy moments. For the first time in years, walking through Doak Campbell no longer meant squeezing through narrow corridors. Upgrading the restrooms and concessions was another major step. The original facilities were built for a much smaller stadium, so modernization was overdue. Restroom capacity increased significantly with new fixtures, better ventilation, and layouts that met current accessibility standards. Concession stands were rebuilt with modern cooking equipment, faster point-of-sale systems, updated queuing areas, and wider service windows. The goal was straightforward: shorter waits and a smoother game day experience. The biggest improvement to the atmosphere came from the audio and video upgrades. The stadium received 11 new LED ribbon boards stretching roughly 1,270 feet combined, giving the interior a high-resolution wraparound display. A new north end scoreboard measuring about 57 feet tall and 120 feet wide, towering like a 6-story building and stretching wider than a 737, became the main visual anchor, paired with a south end board of roughly 35 by 75 feet, similar in scale to a modest 3-story building. These broadcast-grade LED panels were designed to stay bright even in Florida's sun. Alongside them, the audio system was completely rebuilt with digital processors and directional speakers, producing clearer sound with less echo across the seating bowl. Sustainability also played a role throughout the project. Though not a headline feature, it was woven into each phase, with modern insulation, water-efficient plumbing, and energy-saving LED lighting. New seating and exterior materials were chosen for durability and heat resistance, extending the lifespan of the upgrades in Florida's climate. The lighting system was also fully modernized. Old metal halide fixtures were replaced with energy-efficient LEDs that turn on instantly and can sync with the stadium's video and audio effects. Night games now have a cleaner, more dynamic presentation. As the interior came together, the stadium's capacity settled at about 67,277 seats, down from more than 82,000 before the renovation. The decrease reflected a shift toward comfort. Wider seats, more legroom, improved circulation, and expanded premium areas naturally reduced overall numbers. The upgrade also included new mesh chairback seating designed to stay cooler and more breathable in Florida's heat and humidity. The renovation also introduced a range of upgraded premium spaces designed to bring Doak Campbell in line with modern college and professional venues. Areas like the Dunlap Champions Club, the West Sideline Club, the new loge boxes, and the renovated private suites offer fans more comfortable seating, climate-controlled lounges, and improved food and beverage service. The West Sideline Club in particular became one of the stadium's architectural highlights. Positioned directly on the 50-yard line, it was expanded and rebuilt with operable glass walls that open outward, creating a seamless indoor-outdoor transition. Fans can enjoy climate-controlled comfort without feeling disconnected from the energy of the game outside. The new Founders Suite Lounge adds another level of hospitality, with private entrances, indoor seating, and enhanced amenities aimed at higher-end guests. Together, these spaces shift the stadium toward a more flexible and premium-focused layout, giving fans options that go beyond traditional seating while still preserving the spirit of game day. Loge boxes bring a new tier of comfort to the stadium. These semi-private seating pods, designed for small groups, offer a lounge-style experience with added privacy and enhanced service. Positioned to provide clear sightlines and a more relaxed atmosphere, they bridge the gap between traditional seating and full luxury suites. Through all of this, Populous worked to preserve the stadium's character. New exterior elements were matched carefully to the existing brick and castellated facade, allowing updated features to blend naturally with the original architecture. The stadium kept its familiar look while gaining contemporary functionality. By the end, the stadium no longer felt like a collection of additions from different decades. It felt cohesive, a single, unified venue built with a clear plan for the future. Whether these changes improved or reshaped the spirit of Doak Campbell will become clear only once fans and players experienced it firsthand. And once the gates finally open, the reaction to this transformed stadium would reveal just how much the renovation truly accomplished. The stadium officially reopened ahead of the 2025 football season, welcoming fans back for Florida State's home opener against Alabama on August 30th, 2025. And the central question from the start remained, after all the cost and controversy, would the changes prove worth it? Reactions were mixed. Some longtime season ticket holders missed the larger crowds and worried that the reduced capacity might change the atmosphere. Others, especially younger fans and families, welcomed the wider walkways, improved amenities, and new premium areas that finally brought Doak Campbell in line with modern college venues. What most people agreed on was that the experience had changed. It was more organized, more comfortable, and clearly built with the future in mind. Behind these changes was a significant financial plan. The renovation, estimated at $265 million, was largely funded through long-term bonds backed by future athletic department revenues, such as ticket sales, premium seating, sponsorships, and booster contributions. Additional support came from private donations and income expected from the stadium's new hospitality spaces and expanded event use. For the university, the project was more than a physical upgrade. It was a strategic investment meant to keep the stadium financially viable in a changing college sports landscape. With new media contracts, expanded playoffs, and rising fan expectations, offering a modern in-stadium experience has become essential rather than optional. Early results suggest the strategy is paying off. Premium seating sold quickly, with terraces, club sections, and loge boxes filling faster than anticipated. The upgrades have also positioned FSU as a stronger candidate for future college football playoff hosting. Better accessibility, improved broadcast infrastructure, and a wider range of premium seating now meet key requirements for major NCAA events. Perhaps the renovation's biggest success is that it preserved the core identity of Doak Campbell Stadium while preparing it for modern demands. The brick exterior remains, the traditions stay intact, and the atmosphere is still distinctly FSU. And for Seminole fans, the question is no longer whether the stadium has changed for the better. It's how this reinvented Doak Campbell will shape the next era of Florida State football. And that answer will unfold one game at a time. Ready to be amazed by the next groundbreaking construction project? Click on the video now and dive into a world where engineering and imagination collide. See you there.